It started with a spreadsheet. I was checking my ranch property records when I noticed something strange. The HOA had begun building, without my permission, 42 homes on my land, not just nearby, but squarely on my property, filling pastures where my cattle grazed and hills where my kids played. I stared at the screen, incredulous. They hadn't even bothered to notify me. The roads, the construction crews, the blueprints, they were all already in motion. It was audacious, brazen, and illegal. The next day, I drove to the property. Dust clouded the horizon. Bulldozers were cutting into my fields, trucks rumbled over my pastures, and crews were laying foundations where my corn used to grow. Karen was there, clipboard in hand, barking orders. "We're expanding the community. You're too late to stop us." I parked my truck in the middle of the main access road, boots hitting the gravel. I said stop. She laughed. "You don't own this land anymore. Community vote, everything's legal." I tilted my head. "Community vote? You mean the vote you conducted behind my back while trespassing on my land?" Her smile faltered, just slightly. I stepped back, surveying my property. 42 homes. Foundations poured. Roads cut. And suddenly an idea struck me. If they wanted to play with water, I had water. My ranch sits on a small hill, and behind it is a dam and irrigation system I'd inherited. One lever could flood their streets. The next morning, the sky was clear, and the machinery started up again. I walked to the dam, my finger hovering over the main lever. "Time to teach them a lesson," I muttered. I opened the gates. Water surged like a wall of glass down the hillside, racing straight toward the new construction. Bulldozers tried to hold back the flow, but the mud and water were relentless. Foundations were washed out, roads turned into rivers, and the new homes, the ones they had spent months building, were left under feet of mud and water. Karen screamed, trying to rally her crews. "Stop it! Stop it now!" I stood on the hill, arms crossed, watching the destruction. "You built on my land. I didn't like it. Consider this rent payment." By noon, the construction crews had retreated. Trucks were stuck in the mud. The board called emergency meetings, but there was nothing they could do. The land, my land, had won. The lawsuits came fast. They tried to claim natural disaster or accidental flooding, but the evidence was clear. The land belonged to me. The water gates? Perfectly legal. Karen and her HOA faced fines, legal fees, and a complete halt to their project. My land was safe again, and my cattle returned to the pastures, grazing on grass the machines hadn't touched. Now, whenever I walk the fields, I smile at the memory of 42 homes swept away overnight. Sometimes I think of Karen, cleaning mud out of her shoes, and laugh, because the lesson is simple. You don't build on someone's land without permission, or you'll get a flood you'll never forget.